In the bustling city of Lagos, there lived a striking woman named Amina. She resided with her husband in an upscale estate, driving a luxurious car that belonged to him. Residents of the estate often admired or envied Amina, but little did they know she was living in bondage. From the clothes she wore to the hair she carried, all were hand-me-downs from sympathetic friends aware of her plight. Amina would beg her friends for their used items, a stark contrast to the glamorous image she projected. Outsiders, oblivious to her struggles, envied her seemingly perfect life. In reality, each day was a torment. Amina hailed from a poor family and was the eldest of 8 children born to Mr. and Mrs. Bello. Despite their poverty, her parents sold everything they had to ensure she went to university. Amina, aware of their sacrifices, studied diligently and graduated among the top students. Returning home, she was warmly welcomed. That night, her parents called her for a serious discussion. "Amina, you know how hard we worked to send you to school. Now that you're a graduate, we need you to support your siblings. We have nothing left. Our bones ache, and business is slow. You must find a job in the city and start sending money home." Amina, overwhelmed by the responsibility, left for the city the next morning. She stayed with her friend, Saad, who lived in a lavish mansion. Amina marveled at Saad's wealth and asked how she had achieved such success. Saad, laughing, revealed that she slept with rich men for money. Despite the temptation, Amina refused to follow the same path, determined to find a legitimate job. Weeks turned into months, and Amina remained jobless. Desperate calls from her parents added to her stress. One night, she received news that her mother needed urgent surgery. With nowhere else to turn, Amina begged Saad for a loan, but was coldly refused. Left with no options, Amina reluctantly agreed to meet Madame Abukan, who connected young women with wealthy men. That night, Amina met her first client, a man named Jide, at a hotel. Overwhelmed by guilt, she begged him for mercy, explaining her dire situation. Jide, moved by her plea and her naivete, gave her a large sum of money and offered her a job. Her mother's surgery was successful, and Amina was immensely grateful. Jide's generosity extended to frequent calls and gifts, and soon he proposed marriage. Despite her reservations, Amina, under pressure from her family and friends, agreed. However, post-marriage, Jide's true nature surfaced. He became abusive and controlling, leaving Amina isolated and jobless. Her parents, benefiting from Jide's money, dismissed her complaints, urging her to endure. Amina's friend Saad advised her to return to Madame Abukan, but Amina refused, still clinging to her morals. Desperate to feed her children, she eventually agreed. At the hotel, she was horrified to find her client was Jide. Accusing her of infidelity, he beat her and threw her out, keeping the children. Wandering the streets in despair, Amina was hit by a car driven by a wealthy barrister, Tund. He rushed her to the hospital, and upon learning her story, took on her case. Tund successfully sued Jide for domestic violence, winning custody of her children and securing child support. Amina, with Tund's help, started a business and rebuilt her life. Saad, feeling guilty for her role in Amina's downfall, sought forgiveness. Amina forgave her, but soon learned that Saad had contracted AIDS and had little time left. Saad's parents, upon discovering how she had earned money, were devastated. Saad died, leaving her parents childless and remorseful. Amina's family, realizing their selfishness, were guilt-ridden and never saw her again, though she continued to send them money anonymously. Eventually, Amina remarried a man who loved her and her children genuinely, leading a happy and fulfilled life. The moral of the story is that appearances can be deceiving, and everyone carries unseen burdens. It's important to understand the full picture before envying others or making hasty decisions. Despite societal pressures, holding on to one's values is crucial and ultimately rewarding.